now we're back with another vlog.
Woo!
Right now we are at Lowe's. We spent the night here and we're ready to go in to get some goodies for the bus. If you watched our video before this, you know that we want to switch some things up. So we're gonna head over there and see what we can do, what we can buy, what we can fix.
Yeah. We went to the Tiny House Festival yesterday, and after reading all those comments from, all the ads that the Tiny House, I guess, Foundation or whatever it's called, posts, we were reading the comments, and people were ripping this place apart, this show, saying how there was barely any little, legit tiny houses. There was only maybe like 4 or 5 tiny houses. The rest were school buses, shuttle buses, vans, and cars. And people were saying that they want their money back, and it was a ripoff, it wasn't worth driving all the way down here for, wherever they came from. Some people came from like South Carolina and stuff to come look. They were saying that all the buses were dirty and cramped, and they had a bunch of junk in them and stuff, and that the lines were outrageous, and you had to wait so long.
There were lines, but not, the only line that was really crazy is that retro one.
Yeah, it's a retro city bus.
Which we didn't get to go into because the line was just so crazy.
Right.
They have to realize too is that some owners, hid their stuff so you can't really see anything. But some people, are also nervous too, is that you're having strangers come into your home. You don't know who has good intentions or who doesn't, so you don't want to step outside and someone raids your stuff or, slowly opens stuff up and peeks through things. So they have to realize that, they don't want to leave their belongings near somebody they don't know. But I understand too is that talking to some people in their homes, it does hold up the line. But you have to understand.
Guys, the lines were like, we didn't wait any more than 5 minutes per line, and that was very rare. Like usually it was like maybe a 2-minute wait. It was not a big deal. And
you have to realize too is that the show wasn't for them selling tiny homes, so it's not going to look immaculate. They're showing you how it really is living in a tiny home with belongings in it.
Right. Yeah, I think the problem is for people that don't live in like schoolies or shuttle buses or vans, people that live in houses and are kind of new to this lifestyle, when they hear the word tiny house, they automatically assume a legit tiny house. They don't assume that like a shuttle bus could be a tiny house or a schoolie could be a tiny house or a van, So I think their expectations were very different from what reality really is. And, it just caught them off guard. The truth, too, is, like, I would never want to tow a tiny house around full time. It would be a nightmare. They are horrible to tow. And if anybody tells you anything other than that, then they are lying to you. Because they're usually pretty big, pretty bulky. They're awkwardly shaped. They're usually very heavy, too. So they're just not ideal, unless it's a small one on, like, a homemade trailer or something like that. But these big square ones you see, or the ones we showed you guys in this last video, I've towed tiny homes, guys, okay? Yeah. They are horrible to tow. So, people aren't going to be full-timing in that and traveling around all the time. I'm not saying nobody does it, but I can tell you that they probably don't enjoy doing it.
Or they sit for a while and then move over. Like, where the person that we spoke to that was in the one that had the cat on the couch. She was up in Indiana for a few years, and then she moves. Right.
They stay somewhere for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
They're not going to be jumping from site to site like we do.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be pleasurable at all.
No.
So, if you guys are going to go next year, just keep an open mind that there are many different types of tiny houses. Not just legit tiny houses. There's vehicles galore, camper trailers, you name it, that you can turn into a little tiny house for yourself.
Yeah. And then we also had a comment too when it comes to people coming in and out and then worrying about people touching your stuff and then germs and with stuff that's going on right now, you got to worry about germs and whatever. If it really can't, we want to block it, but then Sean's worried about because everyone is just so ruthless on Facebook that we're so nervous about certain things. But realistically, the reason why I want to show off the bus is to meet more people that are open to what we're doing and to get our YouTube name out there, because we really want to build that up. So I was thinking about just blocking it from here and then letting people, because when you stand here you could see everything. So, but we're nervous too is that people complaining that we didn't let them walk actually in it. But we're also nervous too, I don't know if anybody would really do this, but people opening up your cabinets and your fridges and stuff, I don't think anybody would do that. But at the end of the day, at the end of the event, everything will get wiped down and cleaned anyway, whether we let them stay right there or if we let them walk through it.
Right. So I don't know, we're still thinking about it. I just you know, it's just a little, it's kind of intrusive, but at the same time you want to show it off. Obviously by the time next year I'm gonna have all these curtains gone, the windows are gonna be tinted you know, with limo tint, so there won't be any curtains blocking. You'll be able to see out, the light, the natural light will be able to come in, but nobody will be able to see inside. You know, so that'll be much more open. The bed's gonna be different. I'm gonna have the wood on the ceiling, the floors will be all perfect, you know, and we'll have like, we're gonna do a nice new countertop, because I'm having some issues with this one. You know, obviously it's not built for the road, so with all the bumps and stuff, it's kind of shifting all the screws and cabinets around, and then now my cabinet doors are having a hard time closing and stuff. So we're going to go into Lowe's and not only look at, I'm going to get some wood because we're going to lift the bed today. We're going to get 4x4s and lift the bed, but we're also going to look at countertops. I want to do a countertop with a butcher block, and I want to price it around.
Yeah, I want it to not only look nice for us, but if, you know, since we have a YouTube video channel, and if we do decide to do the event, I want it really be nice in here, and for people to be like, oh wow, this is really nice, we could do this in a shuttle bus. Okay, we don't need to spend this much on an RV. Like, you know, I just want to show people that there's more than just an RV, or you can live in anything. Yeah.
And then once we finish up, you know, to where we feel it's satisfactory, we want to do a tour. You know, and a tour video, obviously, for you guys. We'll show you guys really everything we have. You know, and the tour video is probably going to be updated throughout the year, maybe, because, you know, we might change things up. Yeah. Like I said, eventually I want to do the ceiling with the wood.
Mini split.
And the mini split, that's a dream of mine, to do a mini split. So, but like I said, we're going to go hop into Lowe's here. We're going to go take a look at a couple things, and then I'll get back with you guys once we get back. And we're gonna lift this bed up and turn it the other way. All right, guys, a couple hours later, and I have done to me, a big project. This one is gonna really give us more room to do what we wanna do. So, this is the rear heater that heats the bus if I needed heat. Luckily, we live in Florida. I don't really need any heat. And if we go anywhere where I do, well, I'll just freeze to death. Or I'll layer up. So, that heater, hold on, I'm trying not to trip. Now, I moved the bed around. I'm not going to show you guys yet because I'm embarrassed, because it's a mess, because I have a ton of stuff on the bed to move everything out of the way. But we rotated the bed. As you can see, this is our electrical port. This is the new thing that I put in on the back so that we have our cord run inside. And this is where the heater was bolted down to. Now, on this heater, there is an inlet and an outlet, and coolant from the engine cycles through this, and then you turn it on. It'll normally be plugged in, and the heat will come out through that via the engine's coolant. So, just like your front heater core. It's pretty much what it is. Now, I had to take that out. Now, you can go up to the engine block and buy a bolt, and where the coolant won't cycle through here at all, but it's a big job. It's not worth doing, and many people just do exactly what I just did. So, basically, this is the inlet, this is the return valve that goes back to the motor. I pretty much bought two, in my case, these are 3/4 inch brass elbows. I didn't buy plastics, I'm afraid they'll crack over the heat. Maybe not right away, but I try to avoid problems. So I bought 2 1/2 inch elbows, I bought a couple more hose clamps, and this is like, I don't know, 2 inches of hose that I bought from AutoZone. And just join them together, and it comes up and it goes right back, and then it cycles back to the engine. That was a super easy project. Our toilet is going to go somewhere in this area. I am going to finish the flooring in here. Remember, I didn't do the flooring where the bed was originally because, you know, we're on a budget and I'm trying not to have to waste money. So unfortunately now I have to do that. Good news is I have almost a whole box of flooring left over that I just didn't return because I figured down the line we would do something and need it like this. So I have the flooring, we'll get it done, and our toilet's gonna go there. So let me just clean up here a little bit. By the way, this is a super cheap project, maybe, I don't know, 10-15 bucks worth of supplies. And
it was annoying not having to go back and forth because we didn't have the right size.
I bought the wrong fitting the first time, the wrong size. I tried to buy a shark bite fitting and I bought the wrong size, and then I needed 1/2 inch and I bought 5/8, and it was a mess, and they didn't have the right size in the regular shark bite, so I just bought a slip-in one, and then I did a clamp over it. Also, after you do this project, before you cover it up, you know, if you're gonna put your bed back over it or whatever the case is, always start your bus, let it run for a while, let that fluid cycle through And make sure, I went over it with a flashlight, really stared at everything, made sure no leaks. Because you don't want to leak coolant, otherwise your bus is going to overheat down the road.
And we had a coolant leak before, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah, I actually had one of these hoses pop off of the actual heater itself, and it poured coolant all over the bus. It ran down towards the front, and I lost just about all the coolant in the bus. It was really bad. So, and it was super expensive to replace all that coolant, because this thing holds a lot. Other than that, this was a really quick job. And pretty happy with the results. So we're gonna clean up here a little bit, and I'll get back with you guys, and I'll show you how the bed's looking and how we plan to set everything up a little bit more. By the way, guys, I wanted to mention one more thing before I forget about it. When you do that heater, you'll probably gonna lose a little bit of coolant depending on the model and stuff. I probably lost about a quart or so. So definitely have extra coolant on hand. That way you can refill your coolant back up once the bus cycles and runs through the coolant and fills up, you know, takes whatever it needs from the coolant reservoir and fills it up. That way you can always be topped off, because you do not want to overheat. Anyway, I'm going to let Sam take it from here and show you what we did with this bus so far.
Alright, you guys ready to say? Ah, ta-da! Do you guys like it? So this over here, I'll come over here. So this thing isn't going to be here. We're going to move this. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of it. I don't know what I'm doing. But this has like our camping stuff and other crap in it. A laundry bag is there that I got to throw out, and a book bags. So we want to move the AC, and we want to put it right here. Like this area. Well, we don't want it like right in the middle. But once we move this, I want to move the toilet over a little bit more. That way I can try to make some kind of cute little closet, I guess you could say, that I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to post pictures up on the shuttle bus page, see if anybody can kind of give me some ideas of what I can do. But because we want to get a mini split too, so this is going to be coming out, so I was thinking about like even putting a curtain rod like right here and then like hang my clothes, or how RV showers have like the rotating shower thing. So I was thinking if I installed that, I know it would look too pretty, but do it like myself, like make it my way, and just have it like right here and come to like right here, and then have like shelves or something for you know, your pants and stuff. But I don't know what I want to do yet, but I just don't like the thing that's right there anymore. But yeah, so that we put the bed here. I was a little worried about getting stuff from under the bed, because that's like our storage area, because we have a lot of stuff. We full time in here. So what we're gonna do is we raised the bed. They're on little wood blocks. We drove for an hour and a half, and the bed didn't move, the wood didn't move. If it really came down to it, we'll either nail the wood into the bed or whatever other way we can do it. I want to hide this, that way when we do show it off next year, they don't see all our stuff that's under there. What I want to do too is, I know some people like that we have a lifted wheel well. I kind of don't like it because I can't put anything there. So once we move the tree out of the way, once Christmas is over, and look at our little star we got from Dollar Tree. I want to put a couch. The fridge is going to move. We moved the fridge too, by the way. So the fridge is going to go to the left. So I would love to put a couch in this area. That way we're not always having to sit on the bed. And if we do have company, at least they can sit somewhere and not like in a lawn chair or us on the bed. I want to make it a little more homey. So I have to figure out how I can sit the couch right here, and then I have that huge ugly thing right there, so I'd love to fix that. We took most of the curtains down. We have those two and then these two to take down. It feels like kind of like brighter in here without the curtains, right? Like it doesn't feel so...
Yeah, well the curtains are so drab, so blah, especially if they're gray. And now I feel like we're in like the space-time continuum now. It's we're going back to the future over here. We were in Lowe's. Marty, is that you? Or Marty? Oh, Marty. Let me say, Marty, is that you? I keep going back and forth with wanting to spray paint them to make them look a little bit better until we tint the windows. Can you say ghetto bus? But honestly, I think we're just going to keep it the way it is for now until we can tint the windows. I don't think I'm going to have us spray paint these just for them to come off, and if, I don't know, if it looks bad, I'm just going to be upset. Yeah. Also, we were looking at cabinets today in Lowe's,
yeah.
and I was under the impression that you like, you know, if you want a long countertop, you have to buy a long counter. I didn't realize that when they do that, they actually take little separate counters and they just conjoin them, and then they put like a butcher block over it or what kind of marble top over it, whatever you want. So let me clear this out of the way so you can kind of see. But our countertop starts over there. We're probably gonna have it come to about here, and then this area is gonna be our fridge. We're gonna move the fridge over here, and then that should open up all this space. And then once Christmas is over, the tree won't be there, so we'll have this whole space for, you know, whatever we need.
I'll probably get a futon, that way if we ever did have company, at least we
never having company.
No, but just in case.
I don't like people.
Well, it could be Cody's bed.
Yeah, alright. But yeah, that is the plan. So it's all in good time, and then once I can get these windows tinted, I know it's really gonna look nice because we'll be able to see out, and it won't feel so you know, I don't know,
like you're in a space shuttle.
Yeah, right, exactly. But it is what it is for now. It does help with the heat a little bit. Not that it's so hot anymore. It's cooling down. I'll show you.
It is different with the bed there.
Yeah, it comes out further, so we lost a little bit of, you know, our living room area, I guess you could say.
Which we were hardly in it anyway. We were always sitting on the bed, whether we were eating, watching TV, which I want to change that. That's why I want to get the couch. That way, when we're ready to eat, we could have TV dinner stands and like eat normal, not have to eat on the bed.
So with that being said, guys, I'm going to put an ending to this video, but I hope you guys are all doing great as always. And me, Sam, and Cody, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Oh, kissies! Oh, yippee!